Yay, more bamboo killing. Yes. Get over here. I still don't get why I am so amused by killing them like that. But now we have a pretty neat mothball tunnel. And... no. It's the invincible bamboo that you can never kill. Those guys are bastards. Just hanging out right there where you can't kill them. Jeez. I present to you Project Titan, otherwise known as Thaddeus. Now, as indicated by all the scans we did, or rather I did, something, Thaddeus is made entirely of face-on ore, or face-on cores, something. And as such, one of his cores, and something. Wow, I'm really disorganized in what I'm going to say here. But to keep his shape, he has to keep one of his cores active at all times, which causes it to be vulnerable and show up on the thermal visor. Which is why the space pirates made the thermal visor to begin with. So, using the wave beam to not have to bother about aiming, just trying my best to not hit the wrong rocks, and whenever you blow the rock off of one of the cores, massive explosion of face-on radioactivity happens, and the thermal visor goes absolutely crazy. The same will happen whenever these small rocks blow up. They are also face-on cores, although a lot smaller than the others. So, but yeah, I think you'll get how you're supposed to defeat him by now, so. Maybe moving on to something about the attacks. Thaddeus will do this thing where he pulls up a bunch of rocks, and like I said, if you destroy them, it messes up your visor, and why doesn't it go back? Yeah. I highly suggest taking care of these rocks with the combat visor and then going back. And then he does these icicles on the ground kind of deal. And that is going to freeze you if it hits, so make sure you avoid that. And finally he does the thing where he rolls up into a ball and follows you around. Now the simplest way to avoid that is to just roll into a ball yourself. He seems to have some serious issues tracking you when you're a ball, but if you stay in humanoid shape, he's much harder to get away from. And now he shows off just what it means to be a creature made out of face-on. Because face-on is some crazy shit. And I do believe he turns into a ball at this point. And since he's getting serious, I'm just gonna go ahead and abuse one of his... No, not one of. His greatest weakness. The fact that a simple mothball bump will reveal the next face-on core if you hit him while in the ball form. So you don't even have to use the thermal visor. And since he goes back into ball form whenever you destroy a part, it's pretty much rinse and repeat from that point on. But I said something about the super missiles being very useful. Well, I didn't want to waste super missiles trying stuff like that, where his other parts get in the way. But right there, or rather, now that he is down to the pieces on his head, it's a lot easier to hit with a super missile, so yeah. It's a rather simple boss fight, really. He just keeps repeating the same things over and over, and doesn't stand too much of a chance if you just keep at it. And now he's just going to throw a tantrum, get really angry, and pull back all of the shenanigans he had before. I do believe he gets a bit faster with his attacks at this point. And he's also a lot more liable to go into his ball form and roll around after you. But he's still pretty bad at rolling around, because he's not hitting me at all. So now, I just want to finish this off quickly with some well-placed super missiles. Not that it's really all that hard to make a super missile well-placed. But he's down to his final piece already. So really, this fight is pretty crazy in terms of the boss, but no, don't do that. Jeez, I hate him when he does that. The fight is pretty simple when you know what to do. It's really not that challenging. Just nope. Gonna have to take one more shot. And there he goes. Like I said, not really a hard boss, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Although, for the longest time... that cutscene. For the longest time I had absolutely no idea what he was, because, well, the game being like 10 years old and all, I wasn't that good at English back then, so I didn't even bother reading anything, so for the longest time he was just that random rock monster in Phendrana Drifts. So, yeah. And for defeating him we get the Spider Ball. And getting the Spider Ball means that we can scan the Spider Ball tracks. The same thing applies for all items that have a research thing they can use, like the Morph Ball Bombs and the Spinner, or Boost Ball, Spinner, whatever. You can only get the research once you have the item you can use it for, so don't bother going around scanning grappling points before you have the gravel beam and all that. But yeah, now we can roll around on things that are tiger striped, or whatever you want to call that pattern. And some more bamboo, more bamboo. Did I just randomly stop? Weird. Yes, that is weird. Randomly stopping is weird to me. But something I find kinda interesting about Thados, not so much in-game wise, but more, I guess, development wise. You know, in that Thados wasn't necessarily supposed to be the boss of Phendrana Drifts. As far as I've read, they wanted to have a big four-armed monkey thingy in Phendrana Drifts instead. And Thados was actually going to be a Magmor Caverns boss, which I'm not sure how they intended, or which area they intended for Crate to be in then, but yeah, they were going to make a Meta Crate, you know, the big fat dinosaur thing, just like the made a meta Ridley, but the monkey and Ridley got cut and Thanos was moved to Fenrir Rift. As far as I've read, at least. I don't know. I'll give you a link to the site. I never did say what these power conduits were for, did I? I don't think I did. Yeah. Much like with Thanos, it's like things that you can see with the thermal visor, and then you just electrify them with the wave beam. And you didn't need to scan that. But I did it anyway. And you know, I should have killed those Triclops before going in here, because this thing right here is actually timed, so if one of those Triclops get me, I might be screwed. I might be pretty badly off. But I am... well, I did kill one of them. Kind of absent-mindedly. I'm not even paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay? I kill stuff without realizing it. It's called autopilot. I've been doing that a lot. Seriously. I can autopilot this game so hard. You have no idea. But yeah, this... why did I unmorph? That was unnecessary. Well, I did have to unmorph in the other two to scan the thing, so... I guess it was just repetitiveness that didn't need to be repeated. Yeah, that gets you an energy tank. As if you didn't even... if you didn't already have enough health after Thanos. Well, I guess you might have trouble with him the first time, but... I had full health after fighting with him, so... not really necessary to have an energy tank for me there, but whatever. Now that right there... well, those two right there were Borrows I didn't care about. These guys are called puddle spores. They don't really do a whole lot, other than roar at you and then get shot in the mouth to create platforms. The funny thing about these two guys is that they disappear from this room, and you just have to make the jump with the space boots. So I'm not even sure why they're there in the first place. Hey buddy! Oh, he hit me. He actually hit me. Stupid stationary Magmore. You're not supposed to hit me. And right there. Get some of these puffers with the homing. And here's a Magmore that you can't kill with a stalactite. So just electrocute him, I guess. Yes. That is the simplest way to deal with those guys. Just kill them. Electrocution doesn't even work, so I don't know why I felt like pointing out that electrocute. I feel like pointing out a lot of random stuff. Just because. Yeah. But... oh, another one I can kill by dropping a rock on his head. Goodbye. He didn't want to die. I guess nothing really wants to die, what am I saying? Yeah. Making our way... okay, that was terrible. But making our way back through the Magmore caverns. There's a spider ball track right here, which will lead us to a place we are somewhat familiar with. At least as far as I'm concerned, I'm very familiar with this elevator right here, but you might not be so. But now we're gonna enter odd part of the game, and you're gonna be seeing a bit of jumping ahead, because I don't feel like going back to where I have to go just on camera, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, you'll see what I mean.